sports listeners. I am your host, Erica Salda, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in every single Tuesday. This whole hour of Santa Barbara teen athletes. Woo! And all those people and businesses that support those teen athletes. I love it looking across. I see Dominique Hackett, all smiles, big happy girl.
Good morning, Erica.
How you doing, Dominique? What's up? What say you?
Lots of things.
Yeah?
We are getting ready to celebrate at the Braille Institute 100 years.
We love Braille.
Yay.
We love Braille. Is it just Braille now? I saw the invite and it just had Braille dot on it. So I don't see. So what does that mean?
Yeah, so it's
Braille
the Braille
dot.
Institute, which has satellite offices
Got it.
All over California, including Santa Barbara, but the main branch is in Los Angeles. And in Santa Barbara, on the 27th, you can go on their website and you can RSVP to come to a free event.
Free
Free
food?
to the community.
Free event.
Yes.
Lunch.
I'm there.
D.
Yeah.
Lunch.
Yeah.
And what they're
Hey.
what they're trying to do is explain to our community all of the visually impaired services that they offer. So you don't have to be blind in order to make use of the services at the Braille Institute. So
Well, I
it's
went
really
to the
wonderful.
last volunteer because you invited through you, so that was really awesome. Let me tell you something. 5-star event. Best coffee, Italian. Best food. And what's that? Via Maestro?
Maestro.
Oh, yeah. And they serve you in these cute little dishes. And I asked for multiple dishes because I'm like, are you going to come back around again?
That
The
was
food
an
so
honoring
good.
of volunteers.
Yes, that was awesome.
I would consider Braille to be a language. I realize that it is converting the English language characters, in this case, into Braille in the 6-dot system. But I have a slogan for you. Braille, the bumpy language.
Yeah, it's funny. That's so funny.
That's cute.
So you just finished a big project for Red Cross?
Yes, and we're hoping to have the Red Cross on to the radio show
Yes,
very soon.
We're giving actually the Red Cross a seat in the house.
Excellent.
Yes. Yeah, we got to give Red Cross.
Yes.
And I love that because we got to be talking. We got to bring up safety. And we're blessed today. We've got Anthony Rodriguez is in the house, safety king. So we're going to get to him in a round. But maybe we'll talk to Anthony if he needs it done in Braille as well. What you did. Well, what?
Real quick,
Yeah.
what the Braille Institute, what we did for the Red Cross is the Red Cross is in charge of pretty much all of our disaster shelters when there is a disaster, like what's happening up in Ridgecrest right now. And when they get ready for the shelter, they put together instruction manuals in so many different languages. Mm-hmm. Wow, it's amazing. So that anyone of any nationality, of any language pretty much, will be able to find a language that they could read the instructions and help participate in getting the shelter to function properly. And they have included our visually impaired citizens by creating we helped create a manual of shelter instructions in Braille.
So you're such a wee person, but Dominique, you put so many hours into that because I was a witness to that, and I love what you did. You added cited.
So many times when you pick up a Braille book, you can feel the embossing, but if you're not familiar with Braille, you're unable to read it. So what we did was we made sure to include the English and a cited printout so that anyone could actually read and make use of the book. And in this particular case, we did Braille it in English. Eventually, we would love to Braille it in other languages as well.
Awesome.
Would you please, before we move on, give us a brief history of Braille's creation?
Sure. Do you want me to catch that now or catch it after we say it right now? Okay. So Braille's creation happened literally back during the time of Napoleon. He had one of his generals, he gave him the order of, I want to be able to talk to my soldiers in the dark where they don't have to turn on a light. So they created a Braille code that had 12 dots to it. And it didn't work very well, and it's very hard and cumbersome to remember and so forth. So that general went to the Royal Academy for blind students, and he brought his problem to them. And there was a young boy, I think he was 13 or 14 years old at the time.
Joe Dot.
Louis Braille.
I don't know what his name was. What's his name?
Louis Braille.
Was it?
Yes.
It was really Louis Braille?
Yes.
That's a cool story. Go ahead.
And this young man by the time he was 15, he cracked the code. He created a code using 6 dots because that was easier for your fingers to read over 6 dots. And he put the French language into Braille. And so at that time, French was not using the letter W. So the letter W got added later because the French...
The Chinese took it. It's Huawei, right? Right, Ed? Yeah, Ed? Got it. Sorry.
Starts with it.
So, the use of this code, it was hard to get sighted people to understand how important it was for a blind person to be able to do this and how much easier it was to actually learn this code. And there have been many times during the history of making it so that visually impaired people are literate, meaning you know how to spell, you know all the parts of speech, so writing, participating in writing. A lot of people tried to make it so that it was a larger raised English alphabet that we're all familiar with. But eventually, by pretty much the 20s, 30s, 40s, people realized, yes, the Braille code is the easiest thing to learn and memorize for someone who's visually impaired.
Nice.
And one final question. Have you ever watched an extremely proficient Braille reader read Braille? It is absolutely unbelievable.
Well, so what you're seeing there is the student knows grade 2 Braille, which is literally contracted, and they have memorized hundreds of words such that all they need are 1 or 2 letters, and they know what the word is. So, and they're zipping along and reading as fast to you from Braille as you would read, a sighted person reads English.
So, we brought this up real fast, not to zing around, but how advanced I think this generation that's here, the kindergartners, the first graders. And I've always said to you, I've always thought it would be great having ADHD and growing up, or maybe if you has Alexa, so just learn a little different. So if you learned how to sign and Braille and alphabet, I mean, don't you think that would be...
As a young child, it would make you, well, we hope it would make you more empathetic for people with various disabilities, and it would also give you a better grasp of language, because I'm being forced to learn phonics because I learned sight reading. And now that I'm helping students with Braille, we have to sound out the word. So I'm having to relearn phonics. So yeah, I think that learning Braille would be an excellent addition to our educational platform.
When I was a kid, my mom made me learn sign language.
Nice.
When I was super young.
Well, she's advanced. She's in 560 in a 3D world. I love you, Mother. You know that. She's all there. All that. What? What is she saying? What? 5 who? No. Huh? 5G? No, I don't know. What are we talking about? Ed Langlow's in the house. We love our Ed.
Thank you.
How you doing, Ed?
Very good. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Any Elks things that we need to be up for?
The Groovin' in the Grove Car Show, which is a fundraiser for our local veterans, coming up on the 27th.
Nice.
We have some...
So when does that start? Because I'm going to get free lunch at Braille. The Braille. That's the 27th. So is that Braille? Dominique is on the 27th.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I think we can groove in the Grove after we get free barbecue. Is the food over at Groovin' in the Grove? Is it free?
Barbecue is it
you
what?
got to pay though.
Oh yeah, you have to.
You got to pay.
You
Well, what we could do is we all could go to
fundraiser.
I know. Okay, we could throw a couple. You don't necessarily need to eat to give money away for fun.
The show is free.
Exactly.
Everything else is.
That's it. So I don't know.
Yeah,
Mona, are you going to be going with me? Mona Mott Wild's in the house. Woo! She don't know.
Sure.
She's got what? You're not doing anything on that day. I think we need to go visit
Happy to
Braille.
go with you.
Yeah, I know. I think we should go visit Braille. All of us. Anthony, you're not doing anything. Anthony Rodriguez isn't doing anything. You're in the house. We got to get some food in you. Okay, free. All right, you could wait online while we go get the drinks. Their coffee's outstanding, and then we could groove in the Grove. All right, you like to groove? You got a mic here because you're allowed to use it because you're a co-host.
Okay.
You're good. All right, good. So, how much money we want to raise that day? Huh? Well, we got to switch it around. No. Here we're going to switch. It's okay. We're having technical difficulty. You should see us spinning these mics around. They're awesome. How much money is this thing they're going to be?
It's hard to say. Last year I believe we raised about $15,000 for the veterans.
Wow.
Those funds go to take a vet to lunch,
nice.
transportation for veterans who don't, because there is not a a vet's hospital, a VA hospital in Santa Barbara. There are medical clinics, but if they need a hospital, they need to go north. So we provide transportation for them as well.
So it's a car show in essence, and it's with the motorcycles and everything else that's going to be there.
It's a classic car, vintage travel trailer, and antique motorcycle. Nice. We also have a recent entry, which is a just completed Bonneville Streamliner.
Wow.
It's a 400-mile-an-hour Streamliner. It's just being completed as we speak here.
Wow.
They're putting the graphics on the car. It will be debuted at the show. It's 37 feet long.
Wow. We should call up Michelle Meyering and see if we can get their car in it. You know, that, what is it? It's drag, right? Drag. The drag car. It's not a classic, but, I mean, it's a pretty tricked out car.
No, but there is a modified class. If they're interested in bringing a dragster out, we have a class called Modified, and pretty much anything goes. So there is a $150 prize for the best modified vehicle at the show.
We'll call Michelle.
So
that'd be awesome. Why?
Yeah.
I can do it right now. I can text her. She knows me.
I can get you an entry blank. I probably have some in the truck.
Michelle Meyering. She loves me. Right. What? Who doesn't love Erica? Is that what everyone's saying right here? Mona loves Erica. Mona doesn't even have a mic. She smiles and she says, yes, she does. Well, I know Dr. Dale Figtree loves Erica. She's in the house. Put your hands together. Woo! How's Dr. Dale doing?
I'm doing great, and I'm happy to be here.
Well, we brought Dr. Dale here today because we're going to talk about something that I've been lacking lately, and I don't know why. I think I know why. I've been watching TV at night, and I shouldn't do it. You know that my laptop, I'm stuck on Suits, and I don't know why, but I'm just stuck on season 3, and I'm jonesing on it, so I'm not sleeping, okay? And I don't know what's going on, but we need to get that. So Dr. Dale's going to talk all about sleep. And the importance thereof, and how you can help yourself get the hours that you need. I had no idea you need like 6-7 hours to really function. I don't think I've had 6 or 7 hours.
Oh, yeah.
What?
That is not exactly true.
Okay.
It's just not.
Okay, we're going to wait. And she's going to tell us what the amount of sleep. But so we're going to let everybody take a nap for 2 minutes or 2 seconds because we're going to take a little break, all right? But we got a lot of show today.
No napping, commercials.
That's it. No napping. That's right. These are great new commercials as well. But before we check out, I want everybody give a hand to Something's Good Organic. I get my box every week, and I get the fruit box, and I'm telling you guys, check it out. It is so glorious because you don't get, for A, all organic, B, you don't know what's in the box, so every box is a prize. And it's, oh my God, I think I ate the whole bag of cherry tomatoes and strawberries yesterday, and I didn't even eat dinner. And I had to text her. I texted her, these are the best little cherry tomatoes and strawberries I have ever had in my whole life. Am I right?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of us make a promise to ourselves that we'll make it to the farmer's market. If you're not making it to the farmer's market, there is an option. You can participate in the CSA program. And
how much is it? I don't even know what we pay.
I think for right now we're getting a delivery every other week, and we're getting a juice box. So I'm paying like $265 over that lasts for 2.5 months.
Right.
So it's really fantastic. It definitely, you crunch the numbers, it definitely works.
Yeah, your time, your effort, your energy. I mean, the box is heaped. Okay, it is packed. So it's just like,
and
when you first get
freshly
it, you're like,
harvested.
yeah, it's really good. And it's like I say, folks, Something's Good Organic. Let's take a little break. We'll be back with more after these messages. We are back, and this is the Santa Barbara Teen Sports Radio Show. I am your host, Erica Stalda, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in every single Tuesday. All right, in the house, he's like my brother, whatever. But he's also, we're lucky to have in the house, again, as I had mentioned, Anthony Rodriguez. In our community, if you all live in Goleta, he's the emergency response coordinator for the whole city of Goleta. Who knew? So we had these 2 mini shakers, and
Mini shakers?
yeah, mini shakers. I felt them. You know, all the art in my dining room, including Mona's wonderful piece, and yours tilted the most because it had a crack in it. Okay, I don't know if I'm going to keep that beautiful piece up there with the crack. Okay.
Well, hopefully you had that strapped down.
No, it's just wait a second. All right, just hold on. I got a list.
I'm getting a little nervous here.
You should have been painting during that earthquake, and it would have made interesting movements.
No, it was watching all the art sway back and forth. Okay, and especially Mona's one with the crack. Okay, that's all I got to say. Beautiful piece, by the way. No, I'm not giving it away to anybody because I love this piece.
Our hearts go out to any victims of the most recent earthquakes who have suffered, and not only that, they've been experiencing hundreds of aftershocks. Thousands of
about
aftershocks.
1,300 plus.
Wow. That really puts you into a PTSD scenario where you just don't know when the next one's coming. So our hearts go out to everyone who's affected.
It's not if, but when disaster strikes.
Well, okay.
Community alert.
Got the coordinator here. Absolutely. I have my list. So what I have done one thing before you hit me with your have you, okay? Because I have taken all our important information and secured it in a notebook, so to speak. So at least we have that. Okay, so
you're not just relying on the internet
exactly.
for your important information?
Yeah, the internet. If the internet drops,
the notebook?
Yeah, I've got the notebook. Okay.
So does anybody else have a copy of that notebook?
No.
Is there anywhere else that you have that notebook stashed? Besides in the location that you're at.
These are really good questions.
Well, see, here you go. And, you know, when it comes to disasters, you have to try to be prepared for it. Yes, you're never going to be completely prepared for it, but if you prepare just a little bit, it reduces all the stress and it'll allow you to think a lot clearer when the disaster actually strikes.
Right.
So you have to make sure you mitigate. First thing that you guys got to think about is mitigation. So what is it in my home that I have to get rid of? What are the things that could fall on me, especially when we're talking about earthquakes? Earthquakes, you know, people think that you got to run out of the building. No, you do not do that. You have to stay right where you're at. I mean, try to get under. It's basically drop, cover, and hold on, right? Drop, cover, and hold on. Don't go under the door frame like they used to do. They don't make the buildings the way that they used to. So the best thing to do is drop, cover, and hold on. And when you drop, cover, and hold on, you have to curl in as tight as possible because what you're trying to do to protect is your actual organs, your main organs. And, you know, unfortunately, it is what it is, and the impact, it can be pretty severe. I mean, not just an earthquake. What happens right after an earthquake? Sometimes fire, as we seen at the Ridgecrest fire, and many earthquakes previously. And then we got mudslides. And then what happens to our infrastructure? We end up losing gas. You know, electricity. You know, what happens? What's the first thing that you're supposed to do when the electricity goes out? Does anybody know?
Turn off the gas line.
No, you got to eat the ice cream first because then it melts. Right? So you got to think about that. You know, things are going to happen. And like during class, when I teach class, I teach the community emergency response team training for the city of Goleta and for the state. And we always forget our routes. Okay, we only have two ways in. You know, if you want to go that way, northbound and southbound. We've already experienced what happens when the freeway gets shut down. You start going the other way and there's fatalities because people get so overwhelmed and stressed because they're in traffic, then they start going the wrong way. We have to really think about that. You know, where are you going to go? Who's my contact? Who's my out-of-state contact? And the reason why we say get that out-of-state contact is because phone lines, they're going to go down, right? But if you have an out-of-state, you're more likely to reach the person out-of-state than within the state.
I have my brother in Pennsylvania.
Woo, I like that. See, that's a plus. Now, also with phones, texting is the best thing to do. Why? Because if you text somebody, even though it didn't go through that moment, it's going to continue to try to text. And it's going to continue to try to go through until the lines will go up. If you try to call, that's it. It's not going to try to call again. So there's a lot of things that you have to really think about first in your home. Don't put heavy items above your bed because they look beautiful. I know they look beautiful, but it ain't going to look beautiful when it falls on your head, you know, in the middle of the night. And you have to think, we don't know when that disaster is going to hit. And so have things right by your bed, a flashlight, sturdy shoes, just in case there's glass that's broken. All those things have to be thought of beforehand. And share your communications plan with the people that you live with and with your neighbors, you know, so they can kind of keep an eye out for you too. Because there's been experiences that, because there's been nosy neighbors, because you know we all have some, they've saved some people's lives, and especially a young man that was knocked out because of there was a fire in his home, and the nosy neighbor knows exactly what time he comes home, what time the parents come home, and what time he leaves, and she noticed that he hadn't left, and the fire department went in and found him unconscious. So there's a lot of things that we can do to prepare, and it's really important to do that.
Ed.
Well, what your survival kit consists of depends a lot on individually. What do you have? Where can you put things? Is this a carryable kit based on the amount of water that you might want to put in this kit? If it's in a backpack, you're going to carry it. That's all going to change. So one of the things that you might want to think about is Earthquake Survival Center. Do you have a travel trailer? Do you have a camper? They make an excellent place to put your survival kit. And at the end of the quake, we lose gas, we lose power, we lose all these things. A good camper has propane gas. It has a battery for power, lights, so on. You have a water tank. And that'd be an excellent survival center to put your things into. Some of the things that we don't think about are ferrocerium rods. I didn't even know how to pronounce it. I didn't know what it was, so I looked it up. So they are a spark gun, basically. It'd be like if for some of us that remember the old school lighters that would strike the wick, and they will shoot out a spark array up to 5,000 degrees Fahrenheit, and it will start most things, whether it's damp, whatever it is, it will start them on fire, and they're very reasonable. You can buy them online, $5 or $10. You can buy a ferrocerium rod.
So do you have to fuel that? Do you have to? What is that?
No.
That one, those come with batteries. You have to have batteries in them.
Okay.
A tube tent is another thing that would be a good addition to your survival kit. A whistle, something that most of us don't think about. A survival emergency whistle. If you're trapped or you're somewhere, you're trying to get an ambulance or a fire truck's attention, a whistle, small, compact thing that you can easily put in your kit. And 95 dust masks, like the one that we used during the fire. You don't really think about, well, if there's a disaster, but the dust from an earthquake or the dust you might create in searching through the rubble of your house looking for someone, your pets, your loved ones, whatever it might be, a dust mask is a real good thing to have. Crank up radio. If you don't have power, you can get, and I have one in my kit, it's a radio that you can crank up to produce the power that you may not have.
Awesome. You can even charge your cell phone by cranking.
Yeah. Some of them have flashlight built into them. Or a multi-tool like a Leatherman. It's another thing that's small and easy to put in even a carryable pack.
Nice.
And then if you have a stationary, like the reason I brought that up is I have a camper in my driveway off the truck, and it would be fine if it were on the truck. That would give you a little mobility to get out of there. If the house is on fire, you might want to move your disaster center. But they're a real good way to put all your things together in one place, your tent, your whatever you think you might want.
Nice. Well, we'll talk about how much water we need today and a lot more on safety after these messages. We are back, and this is the Santa Barbara Teen Sports Radio Show. I am your host, Erica Salter, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in every single Tuesday. So, thankfully, we have a PhD of nutrition in the house. And if you had to bring like 5 or 6 bags of something to sustain, I need to know what Dr. Dale Figtree would recommend in my wellness. I'm going to call it a wellness quake kit, okay? Because I want to stay well, and there's certain things I don't want to. Nothing against those bag dehydrated things. I'm sure it's delicious.
Oh, no, we'll talk about that, too.
Okay, so Dr. Dale, what would you recommend? Like, say I need 7 days worth of food, that could sustain itself in my quake bag. What would you recommend?
Okay, this is off the top of my head.
Okay.
It's the kind of thing I would like to do a little bit more research on, but nonetheless, okay. The first thing that comes to mind are cans of beans, cooked beans. You get protein, they're filling, they store, indefinitely. Nuts are also fantastic protein. To get a bag of nuts that's unopened, stays fresh. Dried fruit would be absolutely excellent. Those are the three main things, besides, of course, the obvious thing like, water and things like that. But those...
Do you recommend rice or something for carbohydrates? Because I know you're going to need some carbohydrate.
We recommend anything that's easy to carry. Make sure that it's going to be sustainable and you'll be able to, it'll hold good shelf life because what we will be talking about a little bit is about when you should actually turn off your gas. Because a lot of people think, I better hurry up and turn off my gas. But that's not a good thing to do if something happens. We'll talk about that, though.
Yeah, rice requires cooking. Mm-hmm. And so that wouldn't be on my number one list, Mm-hmm. But, if you look around the store, especially in terms of canned goods, you get a lot of ideas of things that would last a long time and be sustaining.
Well, I'm bringing a bag of pellets because I have a Traeger, and it's got wheels.
Well, that's actually a really good thing.
I know, and my Traeger's coming with me, and I'm going to make friends when you have a Traeger.
Oh, believe me,
it'll make everybody happy.
A lot of friends.
I'm serious. That's it. I'm very happy with my Traeger.
Right. Well, see, that's the thing. When disaster strikes, don't automatically turn off your gas line. Why? Because of the fact that if your house is okay, if you don't hear it leaking, if you don't see the gas, or if you don't smell the gas, then don't shut it off. Okay? Unless there's a fire next door, then obviously, I would shut it off. But if you shut it off and you're actually okay, there's nothing wrong with your home and your gas line, you shut it off, you're going to have to wait till the gas company comes and turns it back on. Oh. Okay? So you could be out of gas for 2, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, depending on how large the disaster is. Because it's out of safety reasons, because of there might be other, gas lines, you don't shut it off.
Or standing pilots on some of your older appliances.
Right, which that causes a very serious issue.
I can vouch for the fact that if a gas line is damaged, you hear a high-pitched noise, you smell rotten eggs.
And you see it.
And you see it.
Why do you see it? I'm like...
the air waves and changes. Yeah. So you'll know when you've got to turn it off.
Exactly.
So I have a question in terms of storing things. It seems like storing things in your house may not be the best solution. How about airtight trash cans outside? Could you speak about that?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you should have a go kit in your house, where you work, and in your vehicle. Okay, those are the three things, and everybody says, "Well, that's too much." Well, in reality, you never know. Just La Conchita. One of our team members was stuck in there, in between the mud, and it couldn't go north or south. And luckily, he had toilet paper because everybody was buying a little thing of toilet paper from him. I don't know how much you're selling him, but hey, that's his business, whatever. But there's a lot of things that can happen in everyday life, but it's always good to have a pack in different locations. Why? Because sometimes you're more at work than you are at home. But yes, make sure that you can carry it. Having something outside is excellent. That's an excellent idea. And then if it has wheels, even better. Right? Always make sure that you have enough gas in your car, because people forget about that. If the power goes out, you ain't getting gas. Okay? So have enough gas in your vehicle. Every single time that you go hit, halfways, fill it up, because there is no backup generators in a lot of the gas stations, and the ones that do, it's only going to be for emergency vehicles only. So in us as a community, it's our responsibility to know the alerts, right? Get registered at awareandprepared.org, and make sure you get the alerts and everything that's going out, all the information. You can go on to www.sbc.org. That's the new website that we have, that you can also get a lot of information, new maps, and also tips. But the City of Goleta, if you go on our City of Goleta website, we're actually updating. You can go into the Community Emergency Response Team Training link, and I'm going to be uploading the 20 Weeks to Preparedness Guide, and then I also have a one-pager, and then also power safety, power shutoff, right?
So when they have those emergency in-school
Drills?
yeah.
Yep,
So
absolutely.
I remember that when I was in high school. So today that drill would be go underneath the desk, not leave the building.
They're gonna go under the desk and they're gonna hold on until the shaking stops.
Right.
Once the shaking stops and it's all clear,
Right.
then they're gonna actually evacuate the
Fire drill.
locations.
That's what it was. It was
Right.
fire. Back east, we didn't
but
have
it's going to be it's going to be the exact same thing, and but they will have different locations depending on the actual disaster. So
Mona,
that's a good thing that you brought up.
Fire,
Do you have that?
earthquake, and
Active shooter.
active shooter drills in schools now.
At Westmont?
No, I'm thinking of the elementary and secondary schools in town.
Right.
Westmont, they have a whole team that actually practices annually for emergencies. We have I think 1,000 tents that would go up on a field if there were an earthquake. We have a search and rescue team. We have a team that evaluates the structures if there's an earthquake. We have a communications team.
Well, you
a
were the
portable
base
satellite.
when we went through our last with the fire and the flood, correct? Wasn't Westmont a base or wasn't a base?
We were actually a center for the fire department. They actually did use it to park a lot of their vehicles.
Nice.
And send out vehicles from there, and helicopters as well. A place
Landed.
where they were landing and collecting water from our cistern.
was not
Yeah.
because of the freeway.
So how much water a day do you store? Real fast,
gallon
we
per
gotta take a
person
minute.
per day.
1 gallon per person
Yeah,
per
and
day.
I mean,
Okay.
but it also, you got to think about it. We can say that, but how much water do you really drink?
Right.
You know what I mean? Because that's all my nephew drinks is water. So I would have to have like 2, and then and it's not about 3 days anymore.
Right.
We always talk about now. Honestly, like about 7 days, because we don't have enough resources. It's up to us to be responsible for that.
I got you. Hey, thank you so much, Anthony. Anthony Rodriguez. We love you.
Yeah.
Let's take a break. We'll be back with more after these messages. We are back, and this is the Santa Barbara Teen Sports Radio Show. I am your host, Erica Salter, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in every single Tuesday. So the month of disaster preparedness is September, right? Great month. I'm just saying.
But preparedness should be done every single day.
It is. Should be done now. But anybody in September is just, I don't know. I just think those Virgos are just awesome. No, you think so, Mona? No?
Absolutely.
You think so, right? No? She's not into it?
Absolutely.
Virgos are just rock on Virgo. Okay, so again, we have blessed Dr. Dale Figtree is in the house. Let's talk about getting a night's rest before you make your disaster preparedness kit. You need to sleep on it.
Well,
all
so
right?
you just sleep better if you know exactly what to do, right?
Exactly. Sleep soundly.
Yeah, actually, it's interesting. Going to a class on that, when I go to sleep, I make sure that that I have my flashlight in a drawer next to me.
I love it, yes.
I have shoes under my bed, and
That's
I wear
what I'm
hearing
talking
aids.
about.
So my hearing aids are never on top of things. They're in a case in a drawer. So if I have to get out of the house, I have what I need right there.
Good
So,
job. I like it.
yeah,
See?
yeah, yeah,
Woohoo!
Okay, sleep. It's it's tricky. There's a lot of different opinions, but my personal opinion, after reading and studying and working with it for many, many years, is that, we know sleep is essential. But basically, we sleep for an hour and a half cycle, and it's a complete cycle. And if you wake up after that, have to pee or whatever, you go back to sleep into another cycle and you're fine. This idea that you should sleep 7 or 8 hours uninterrupted is for kids. When you think of ancient humans, they were in these camps where there was always somebody up and around in the middle of the night. Their life depended upon it to make sure that they were safe, there weren't animals. So for adults to sleep periods, wake up for a bit, go back to sleep is actually completely normal, and you can get a good night's sleep with that in mind. Okay.
Thank goodness I wasn't going crazy.
Yeah.
No?
I feel a lot better.
Yeah.
So do I. You made my day.
But for people that have a hard time going to sleep, there are a few things that can help. I mean, one thing is all of the electrical things, the phones and the computers have a blue light that actually stimulates the mind and it reduces melatonin. And so there are these glasses that are red. There's a thing on my computer that turns the screen kind of an orange thing. And so to either tune out of these things or get these different kind of light could be helpful. The second thing is there are some herbs that are just really easily available. One is L-theanine. Another is valerian, which is...
Keep talking.
Oh, valerian, which of course, is close to the word valley, but we're not going to mention that. But valerian's a great herb. And I think yellow balm, I think it's called. Yeah. And, a lot of times there are formulas. Like if you go to the health food store and you see a sleep formula, you see that they have these in them. And they're actually very effective for changing brain waves, slowing down the mind. So I encourage people an hour before they go to sleep to just get one of these bottles of a few different types of herbs and try them. Another thing is bananas. Bananas have famously been a part of helping people sleep, especially if you wake up in the middle of the night and you can't go back to sleep to eat them. Homeopathics are interesting too because they take something that causes a symptom and they dilute it to such a degree that when you take it, it actually creates the opposite effect. So there's a homeopathic called coffee cruda, right? What does coffee do? It keeps you awake. But in a highly diluted form, it actually can help you sleep. So that's in the health food store. It's great. And of course, the obvious things, which is to not eat chocolate before bed. And, and one thing about a lot of people think wine and alcohol is great. It helps them sleep. But actually, it's really tricky. It can interfere with good sleep. And it's like it's a liver irritant. I mean, a little bit's not a big problem. But what happens is when you drink alcohol, you hijack the focus of your energy to the liver and to the kidneys to kind of flush it out. And it's not as bountiful in other places where it's needed to really bring you into deep restorative sleep. So, how about all of that?
I have a question for Sam.
Yeah.
How many hours sleep do you get a night, Sam?
During baseball season, I try to get more, definitely. So, then I try to get 8 to 10.
Yeah.
But over the summer when I'm playing baseball, or when I'm not playing baseball over the summer, I try to get at least 6.
Yeah, I think the younger you are, the more you need. But I remember when I was Sam's age, I'd sleep till noon sometimes.
Yeah.
And it's different for different people. But I want to say that 6 hours generally is a decent amount of time. And that's also in societies where after lunch they honor siestas. So to take a little nap, if you can get 6 hours, if you can get 7 or 8, that's great. But 6 hours is not something to think, oh my God, what's wrong? Generally for adults, that's really doable.
Yeah, I've kind of targeted 7 as my natural circadian, that I wake up when I've had 7 hours sleep, and so I've decided that's my
And that's great if that
rhythm.
works for you, and but I'm just saying that people that don't go into a panic and think, I need to take drugs, and the truth of the matter is that I haven't seen one pharmaceutical that doesn't create really, truly healthy sleep without a cost. So one needs to try to find other ways to do it, either
Without
herbs.
side effect, you mean the cost being a side effect?
Yeah, the cost means some kind of side effect. Yeah. And also not really restorative sleep as powerfully as if it were natural.
Yeah, but not to defend the pharmaceutical company. They do have drugs that will take care of those side effects.
You're absolutely right.
The only downside is that then you have to take more for the side effects to the chemicals that you're taking for the side effects to the other
Resolve the side effects.
Yeah,
from
and
the
I
previous
want to
drug.
also honor the pharmaceutical companies. I mean, thank God they're there. I mean,
Sure.
drugs have saved my life. I mean, there are times when sleep is beyond just I'm not getting enough. I mean, it's a real problem. And I mean, when somebody's in a lot of pain, and I mean, I'm grateful for those pharmaceuticals to use them correctly.
Yeah.
But generally, on an ongoing basis, to find a healthier way is healthier.
Yeah.
One other area as far as sleep is concerned, I want to ask you to talk about it, and that is when you're not well, when you're suffering through an illness,
Right.
how important sleep is. And maybe even preventative, what level of preventative sleep is to not getting ill, like the flu or a cold. Or
Well, you look at an animal. When an animal is not well, they crawl in a corner and just leave me alone. They don't even eat, right? So naturally, when we have a flu or a cold, I mean, the body just wants to rest. And you just listen to the body. The body will tell you what to do. You don't fight it. There's so many people that say, I don't feel well. I'm going to do a lot of exercise because I know that I get energized. And they're completely avoiding the message the body's giving. And so sleep is crucial. And I think that it's healing, and to let the energy be used as the body chooses to, rather than to waste it on other things. If somebody's in a crisis situation, is to me the wise way.
Would you ever say there's a thing as too much sleep you could get, or no?
When I have a client and they're sleeping like 12 hours a day, I appreciate the fact that there's something that needs that. But I look into it because something's off. Mm-hmm. It's unusual. There are reasons that people need that much sleep, and usually because there's a problem in the body.
Mm-hmm.
Depression.
Somebody's depression.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I could be there. Hey, well, nobody's going to be depressed to take a break right now, okay? Because we had a nice little sleep update. I am so excited right now. I could stop Googling. I mean, it's okay. Because, I feel wonderful now. Who needs sleep? It was great. A little bit. I'm not, because I get broken sleep. I don't know why. I get broken sleep.
It's really great. What I do is when I wake up in the middle of the night, I find, first of all, that I feel great. It's interesting. I mean, it's like all is well. It's a strange, they call it the witching hour or whatever. And again, in tribes, this is the time men would get up and they'd sit around a fire. I mean, it was and women, very special time. I get up, I light a candle, which now is a little switch rather than and I just do really slow yoga exercises and just sit quietly with breathing, and then I just slip back into a delicious sleep. And it's a beautiful time to get that kind of stretching.
As soon as you said delicious, I'd be walking into the pantry.
That's okay too.
Well, I'm just saying.
That's okay too.
All right, let's see if we have some foodie commercials. All right, something's good organic. Don't forget them. We love them. Let's take a break. We'll be back with more after these messages. We are back, and this is the Santa Barbara Teen Sports Radio Show. I'm your host, Erica Salda, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in
every single Tuesday.
Well, I hope you guys all enjoyed an amazing, wonderful show. Let's just do some cleanup here. We've got a couple of events that I want to share, and I'm going to let Anthony, you could share it. Here we go.
Oh, so we have an event which is actually really, really cool. It's called Upcycle, an art day we're having at the Goleta Valley Community Center. Our next one is going to be August 8th. And last Thursday, we had about 55 people show up, and it's for kids and their parents, so they can do these things together. And it's been amazing. It's been really good stuff, and it's going to be right by our new mural outside, and it's from 9 to 12. And I would like to invite everybody to come on down and check it out. And we also have some pretty cool stuff going on the inside with new artist pictures and stuff like that. So that's really a neat thing that we have coming up.
Yeah, free art. Free. And the relationship is partnering with Art from Scrap. Mm-hmm. And a shout out if he gets called upon, Pat Thomas, because I kind of threw his name out there, because drywall is a great surface and mud, and I've been having a ball with it. So drywall and mud, I think these kids, and I was talking to Charlie, is it?
Charlie.
Yeah,
Charlie
Johnson, love that idea. So I want to put your hands together from Art from Scrap, because it's not, you pay $400 or $500 for these art workshops. Mm-hmm. And if you don't have any money, Old Town Goleta is getting it done. And I really appreciate you guys and Joe and whoever. It was really good. And the wall is beautiful. If you haven't been down there, check it out. It's nice. It's nice.
Anthony, is that the old Goleta Union School?
That is correct. Yeah. So we're trying to do so much there for the community, and trying to bring a lot of other different ideas, because it's a community center, and that's what we want. You know. So we really would appreciate any support, any ideas. We're gonna have all kinds of new stuff coming up. Dia de los Muertos. We're gonna have an event. We're gonna have music, art. arts, hopefully a parade, maybe some other little ideas. I don't want to put too much out there yet because we're kind of getting it down, but we definitely would like people to come down. And then actually that's our host for the community emergency response team trainings. We host them there,
Nice.
and it's all free.
And we've got your walk coming up. Which
Yes, we have the Out of the Darkness community walk, which will be September 8th at Ledbetter Beach, and it's our 10th anniversary
Nice.
For our suicide walk. So you can register online at outofthedarkness.org, Santa Barbara, and come in and be with people that definitely will need your support.
Nice.
And it's our 10-year anniversary, so I'm very honored to continue with this.
Beautiful.
So hopefully we'll see you.
We got you back on that.
I love it.
I know. We love you. We love everybody. And if you guys want to check out more camps, Westmont's got camps. They got the 805s going on right now for baseball, and they got camps running all summer. So, Braille, last thing is we
July
have
27th.
and then after
you
we have
check
the
their
free,
website
yeah.
and RSVP.
Then we have the free barbecue, and then we're going to walk
And
off,
Ed.
and then we're grooving in the
We're
grove.
going to the
Then we're grooving in the grove.
Go listen to Ernie and the Emperors and have a tri-tip sandwich.
That's
and
it. Well,
check
I
out
might
all
be
the
full
cars.
because I'm eating free barbecue over there.
Oh,
but
that's
I'll
true.
still donate.
That's true.
Will you put a little
Okay,
tip
there's
box in front
plenty
of
of
your
way that we-
grooving in the grove and
There
singing?
are
in the,
silent auctions
singing
and,
under the
and
trees.
lots of opportunities to do
Yes.
that.
Yeah, I am going to
Support the
text.
veterans.
Yeah, we
Yes.
love the veterans. Mona, what'd you say?
I said support the veterans.
We love those veterans. How can you not love a veteran? So anyway, Santa Barbara, love yourself today. Be kind. Make somebody happy. See you next week.
You're the best around. Nothing's gonna